All right, man.
We in the game?
Yeah.
We doing it?
That's good, man. Yeah.
We better break the internet.
I got Ariel here with me, man. Ariel, man, tell them where you from, man.
Captain Ariel from the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
At ISUBK, Philadelphia camp.
Damn right. All right, we're gonna jump into it. Before I get to the beginning of you.
Okay.
Just a few things, right? So you came out here to California, Arizona for the weekend, right?
Right. A little road trip.
Full of the work of the Lord and drinking and partying. Can you explain, like, I guess as short as you could, the ISUBK culture and you traveled all over the place, California, South, out the country, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just tell me about those different experiences in those different areas.
Well, I think in the ISUBK we have we got a commonality amongst all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter where we are, I'm from Philly, y'all brothers from the West Coast. We got brothers from Texas, Florida, Delaware, all these different random cities of people that never would have met without the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But we come here, we meet, and we have the commonality of wanting to serve the Most High.
Yeah.
Have the commonality of wanting to learn the truth and push the truth to other people. And because we have that commonality, no matter where you go, it's pretty much the same.
For sure.
Yeah. So wherever you go, wherever you go, any camp you go to, any school you go to, across the country, if it's ISUBK, it's the same because we all believe the same thing, the same rules, the same standards.
Right.
It's an amazing thing, and that's if we talk about the culture of the school, that's what it is. Especially moving from place to place, you just see it. You see it's crazy where it's like you see the same problems.
Right.
You see the same problems.
Yeah.
The same brothers talk the same type of brother in every camp. The same, everything is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Just slightly different.
Yeah.
Because from the way we organize the schools, physically how they look, from the brothers and their personality and their motivations,
right.
It's all the same. So
right.
it's like I said, it's just a commonality. But the foundation of it is that we all believe the same thing. And because we believe the same thing, we can trust each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, let's start from the beginning. You the first brother I've met that was actually born in the truth.
Okay.
Right? He was born in the truth.
Right, yeah.
Your father's in the truth. Your mother's in the truth. Your uncle's in the truth. Right. Your sister's in the truth. So, how was that, since growing up? I know, people might not know this, but you never celebrated a birthday.
No.
You never celebrated Christmas. Right. You never celebrated things that people that are in the truth today have because they was in the world at one time.
Yeah.
Now, you lived in the world, but you was not of the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, how was that experience meeting people in the world compared to, you being in the truth? How did you grow up? How did you deal with that even from kindergarten and all that?
When I was younger, and I guess even still now, I just knew, on a basic level, I just knew I couldn't be like them.
Okay.
I think even before I understood the importance of why I couldn't be like other people,
yeah,
I just knew that I couldn't do it because that's what my parents wanted me to do.
Mm.
So, growing up young, I just knew that I couldn't be like them because if I be like them, I get punished.
Right.
At least from my parents, at least.
Yeah.
As I get older and started, develop more complex thoughts about it.
Right.
I started to realize that I started to see the difference between the lives of people in the truth and the lives of people outside the truth.
Right.
And I realized the amount of the hell you avoid being in the truth. Then I started to realize the real nuts and bolts of it, that if not only will I be shamed amongst my family or my father gonna be upset with me if I do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Or if I act like these people, that I'm a fail just like those people I'm looking at are failing.
Okay.
But, I never really too much look down on people in the world, or when I say look down on them, I never treated them bad because they're in the world.
Right.
I just know that we're different and I gotta be different if I want to survive. If I want to, if I want the Lord to be with me, I gotta do what the Lord wants me to do, and that comes down to being different.
Right. I mean, so like I got kids, and like I would look at you because you're the person I knew that was actually born in the truth and raised by parents in the truth, and like you're not weird. So like, so you would think like because like I have kids, I'm like okay, they're about to be in the truth,
right?
So I'm about to raise them a certain way, and sometimes they get looked at as outcasts if they don't do certain things,
right?
Like, did you feel like outcasted at all, like growing up, or if you couldn't do certain things at school?
I always, like I said, I always knew I was different, but I don't know, maybe I was just blessed to be around people in the world that was just a little accepting of things. Right. And maybe it's because I wasn't weird, like you said. I don't know. But even like, I remember being in school and telling young kids, my peers, telling them I don't celebrate Christmas. Yeah. And they might be surprised and be like, "Dang, you don't celebrate Christmas? Yeah. Dang, you don't get no toys? All right, well, let's go play." Yeah. Like it was never like, it was acknowledged that it was different. Right. But it was never, "Oh, you nut ass nigga, you don't get no gifts." Right. Nut ass nigga, you don't never put no costume on Halloween. It was like I never got shamed by people in the world about it. It was just kind of.
Do you remember the first time? You sat down for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sat down for the Pledge. I can't. I don't know if I remember. In school, at least in Philly, they don't make you do stuff like that. I think I do got a memory that they made us do something similar to that. Yeah. And I just told my teacher I couldn't do it.
Did you question? Do you remember her questioning you, like, or she said okay?
No, it was kind of just like this is religion, and that's a lot of times that works. A lot of times you just tell people this is my religious belief, which according to their standards it is. Yeah. That'll work. They'll let you do or not do a lot of things because. Yeah, but I think I got a memory when I was in third grade. Yeah. One particular teacher. This wasn't a practice this is not a practice in Philadelphia schools. It wasn't even a practice at that particular school. But in third grade, I think Miss Alba, if I remember correctly, I remember her name, the Italian lady. She had us. It was weird too because it happened like in the middle of the year. I don't know why. Maybe she was feeling patriotic, but she was trying to get us to do like some type of pledge in the middle. And at one point, like I think in the beginning of the day, she wanted to do it. I think I remember telling her I can't, do stuff like that. Mm. So, but she was cool about it to my memory, Okay. Nothing crazy.
I got you. What was it like growing up? So, you had celebrated the High Holy Days, right?
Right.
Passover. What was the first memories of you celebrating Passover? Like, what was that like? And tell me the dynamic of the school of what it was at that time when you remember celebrating Passover.
The first time I remember, I don't know if I remember my first Passover, or even my first month. I can't really. I don't know.
No, I want to know the first one you do remember.
Yeah, the first one I remember, that I can remember. It probably would have been in Philly, 46 and Market. It's a train station. You got the Market Frankfurt line that go up and down Market Street. Mm-hmm. In West Philly, 46 and Market is the intersection where the train station is. But on the corner, based on the corner, right now it's a big building. It's like city services right now. Yeah. But back then, it's probably back in like 2000. What year was it we was in there? 2003 or something like that, or between like 2003 and 2008 or something like that. For a few years, that building, like I said, now it's a city services building with a bunch of random stuff in it. But back then it was basically like a bunch of office buildings and random stuff. Mm-hmm. Back then it was a little rundown. It was like halfway, like, a little sketchy to my memory. But it was like basically like a bunch of office buildings and stuff like that. Okay. We had our school in there. The school was about the size of this particular room. The whole school though, maybe a little smaller than this. Okay. And it was probably up there. And around that time, the school was a lot smaller. So that was the only building we had.
You got to go into the school was really small.
The school was very small.
Yeah, like the state of the school.
That was the only building we had at the time.
It's probably how many brothers give or take you?
At that time, yeah, the school probably was 10 people, 15 people.
That's crazy.
It's probably about 50. I'll give it 10 to 20. Right. 10 to 20. When I say people, I'm talking about the brothers doing the work. Yeah. Of course, there was a few sisters around at the time. Mm-hmm. But as far as brothers doing the work, between 10 and 20, and that was probably that was between Philadelphia and D.C. Around that time, those two cities was the school. It was Philly, because Commander General Howard was over Philly for a while. General Hyman was under him. General Mayock, General Haas. Yeah. a few other niggas that left the truth. And it was Philly, and then it was DC.
Gotcha.
I think back then Commander Yohanan was doing a lot of early work in DC as well. And now with those two cities was in school for a while, mainly just that. Yeah. That was like the core. And yeah, so my first Passover would have been that I will remember. I probably don't remember if it was a Passover. It was probably just another holiday to me at the time. Yeah. But it would have been at 46th Street, 46th and Market, at that building. That building it used to be a back in this it's kind of like poetic to me, but it used to be an insurance company back in the day. And if you look at the building right now today, at the very top was like a gold ship, and they would insure ships, and they would actually insure slave ships.
Oh wow!
I don't know the name of the company off top, but I know that building that used to be owned by a company that insured slavery.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, yeah, so we was in there for a while, up until probably like 2008, 2009, something like that.
What do you look at like? What do you remember like your father being General Muhammad? What do you remember him like instilling in you since you were a kid? Like, what some of the things he would tell you should be like, or you should do, or teach you that stick with you like to this day?
When you said it, the first thing that came out of my mind is about brotherhood.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was something going on with me and my younger brother. Not young. Yeah, but they all younger than me. Youngest. When I say younger, I mean directly younger than me. Yeah. And I remember he was saying how brotherhood is everything. He said it's more important. He said you need oxygen to breathe. It's more important than that. He said you need food to eat. And it's more important than that. And that's one of the few things that definitely stuck with me early on. Okay. But other than that, a lot of that stuff was it was like I said, just showing me what could happen to you if you do the wrong thing. So I know what's the right thing to do is I go to the class, I go to the holidays. Yeah. I get taught not to eat pork and not to celebrate holidays, all the basic stuff. Right. But a lot of things that was instilled in me just was what could happen if you make the wrong decisions. What will happen if you make the wrong decisions. That was a lot of what was pushed into me early, that I can remember.
All right. Okay. Of course, we believe in having multiple women and stuff like that. I know General Muhammad has multiple wives. Right. So at that time, like when you was a kid, like would questions arise if you see your father with another woman, or if you even seen him at all with another woman?
When I was younger, yeah, I definitely did when I was young. But I think it was introduced to me early enough to where it didn't. It wasn't strange. And
what you mean introduced? Like you seen it or was told?
The first time I knew of him to have another wife, I was young enough to where
it became normal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I was 15, that would have been a whole different thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Probably. but I was the earliest I remember me, having a good understanding of this is other wife. Yeah. I was probably like 7 or something. I don't know, probably 7 or 8. I was young enough to where it was like you can introduce things to me. I'm at an age where you can introduce new stuff. Yeah. And it doesn't feel like change. Just another thing to tell me.
You never asked the question like, why you got another one? Never. Like as a kid, you're not a kid. Why? Who is this?
Like you said earlier, I was never weird. I was never that.
Father, who is this?
I was never that weird like that. That's corny. I've never been a cock blocker.
No, that's good. But it's interesting because when I'm hearing you, I'm talking to you, I feel like whatever life you lived coming up in the truth, it was just regular.
Yes, like a lot of things they was normal. It was just. That probably, in hindsight, that definitely helped. That it just all felt, even with the school being small. I knew we was different. I knew we was strange. I knew this shit was not normal. Right. And I fully understood that, but it was normal to me. It was just. Right.
Well, it's funny. It's just funny because you grew up that way. Right. So you're talking to me, to someone who changed. Right. I lived I was in the world and knew only worldly things, right. And then I changed. So it would be, if my family did that in some type of point of my life. It would probably be like, whoa, what the hell is this?
Like they came into the truth.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So you was, in essence, like people, how we was born into sinful flesh. Like you was born into sinful flesh, but you was also born in a place where you was protected from that.
Where I still had the spirit and the culture around
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So you're coming up, You going like are you homeschool, in school, elementary? I know you said you was in elementary, right?
Yeah, I think from when I started from kindergarten to what year was that? Up until like what's the year right before middle school? So from K to 5, to 5, I went to I'll tell you school. I went to Penn Alexander. Penn Alexander is still a great school. It's a public school, but it's a great school. It's in a great neighborhood. That's in University City, in Philly, like West Philly. University City, which is like University City they call it University City because it's right on University of Pennsylvania's campus.
Okay.
So, but it's like West Philly technically. And so Penn Alexander, I went there from K to 5. But we moved. We lived like right across the street from the school.
Yeah. But
we moved into a more blacker part of West Philly, which is like real West Philly, which is like the Cobbs Creek area. Anybody from Philly would know. Okay. But right around the corner was 63rd Market, like the Cobbs Creek area in Philly. That was far from Penn Alexander. So I had to. So from there, and the school, my neighborhood school was terrible. All the neighborhood schools, maybe the charter schools, but the neighborhood schools in that area is bad.
Like your parents didn't want you to go to that school?
No.
Okay.
No, they didn't want to go. So I homeschooled from 5th grade up until 10th grade. My 11th and 12th grade year, I was in high school.
Oh yeah, so you was homeschooled. So
for a good portion, yeah.
How'd that work out? Like how does homeschool work out actually?
It was dope. It was amazing. I was getting it. Yeah. I went to 2 of them. It was very flexible, and I think I never told nobody this, but I think me doing that definitely helped with my personal endeavors in the work of the Lord. Yeah. Okay. Because if I had not been homeschooled, I wouldn't have had the flexibility to be in the work of the Lord. At like I became a trooper. I think I was 14, just about to be 15 soon. You became a trooper at 14? I believe so. Yeah, 14, 15, something like that. I think I remember that. If I was just in brick and mortar school, I'm not sure if I really would have had the time. Yeah. And my parents was pretty rough, not rough, but they was definitely pushing me to do well in school and stuff like that. So I don't know if I would have had the time to hold on. That's be in school and be as consistent with the work of the Lord as I was at that young age. Okay, so you bring up a good question for me to ask you, right? So a lot of people, they might say they might be in the truth, but they're like the Wall's in the room with us, right? So if the Wall has a son he raised up, and his son's in the truth. Right. Just came an officer. Right. Not everybody's son or daughter takes the same path as their parent. Yeah. So what inspired you? I'm sure I think I know the answer, but what was the thing that was in you? I want to be this way. Did your father did he tell you that you had? No, I assume niggas, nobody ever told me this. Yeah. but I assume somebody think about, man, they forced him to do that. They didn't really, right. Want to be here. Nobody ever forced me to do anything. Really? Nobody forced me to do anything at all. Okay. I knew this was what they would have liked. Yeah. I knew this was the standard for. As far as what's the right thing to do, what I should do, I understood that this was the thing that I should be doing. But the only thing that kind of may have been felt a little forced. When I was around 14, 15, was getting a little older, and Joe Hyman told me and my younger brother that he wanted us to come to class on Monday dressed in all black and with boots. After that, it was. As far as me making my own choices, I was on my own. And rest assured, if I had not did that, he wouldn't have kicked me out. It would have been a sign of, he don't really fuck with this like that. He don't really, at least he's not ready to do the work. But when I was young, I was getting a little older, and I was always, I guess, relatively mature. Yeah. And I remember him telling me, y'all gonna come to class, but make sure you wear all black. We're gonna, get your boots. And we gonna come to school dressed in all black. Of course, I knew if you I was around enough by then, so I knew that to become a trooper, you got to come to class 90 days dressed in all black. So okay, and you said something earlier that struck me as interesting as well. You said you looked back at you being
in homeschool that it helped you in your endeavors in the work of the Lord because you would have you was freed up, right?
Yeah, it was more flexible.
Right. So
and I didn't have to be in one place at one time.
So when did you feel like, what did you see that made you be like, okay, I want to do this? Because you said you was freed up, so I'm assuming you was freed up to maybe do camp signs.
Go to camp.
Go to camp. Maybe. You was allowed to go to camp.
Yeah, yeah.
You wasn't a trooper, I'm thinking.
I wasn't a trooper yet, but I did a lot of traveling with the camp. So when we would go to like around that time, like middle school, definitely early high school. Mm-hmm. They had camp in New York. We started having camp in New York around that time. So
you're the only kid?
No, it was probably my younger brother, Yeshaya, and General Haas's son.
Right.
Bunny Yao.
Yeah. Okay.
There was probably only two people in my. Yeah, that was it. It was us three. It was us three. That was like a young.
And then around all grown men.
Yes. Everybody fully grown. Everybody was the youngest was like around my age range now.
Yeah.
I'm 26 now, so.
That probably was the youngest cat, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
Captain Taiwo was probably like
26,
30,
right.
26.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. Captain Kai might have been kind of younger. He might have been like 22 or something. 21.
Okay.
Yeah. But even before I was a trooper. Mm-hmm. Even before I was coming to class in all black every Monday or a few times a week, I would like if they would go to New York, I would go to New York with them. Or if there was camp in Philly, I would go to the camp and just stand outside the camp. I wouldn't do posting nothing like that.
Oh wow!
But I just stand outside the camp or go to New York, or every now and again, maybe around that time, we would go to DC. Not as frequently, but go to DC. I would go to DC. So
okay,
it's a clip. This video was kind of low key viral. Mm-hmm. With Captain Mashak was arguing with some lady at the camp in Chinatown in DC.
Yeah.
And she had a kid with her. She had a stroller. And this is a while ago, but she had a stroller and she young at the camp. I think she threw some water at the camp or something like that. But you can see me in the crowd watching.
Yeah.
But I was like in regular clothes,
right.
just with them at the camp. So I was around a lot, even though I wasn't doing the work. Like before I was doing the work, I was around a lot, in ways that a person that just come off the street wouldn't have been. Because everybody knew me. I grew up there, so it was like they brought me around to do stuff that I usually did. A random brother that's trying to be a trooper or knows about the school wouldn't have been privy to. So
I think when I came around, when I was a trooper, I remember a couple of brothers. I remember a couple of brothers would say they would call you the fifth general.
Yeah, I know they say that too. Because they thought I was snitching on them. I snitched on niggas one time.
Oh, you snitched?
I did one time. I ain't gonna lie. One time.
What'd you snitch on them about? I want to know that.
I snitched on niggas one time, and then after that, it was like,
gotta watch him.
Let's go break the rules over here. Let's go break the rules over here.
Get into it. If you could get into it a little bit.
I'll get into it. It's so long, and the nigga that's involved is gone. But I forget exactly what was even going on.
Was you right to do it though?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was right.
Okay.
I was still telling though.
Yeah. No, but it was the right.
It was the right thing for me. Okay. For me to do that, I think that's kind of how they perceived it. Was like I do the right thing. That was kind of how they perceived it. Okay. Looking back at now, that was just me purely trying to do the right thing.
Got you.
Not even having no other considerations. Just purely.
What happened though? What happened?
Yeah, but he was like, fuck all that, whatever.
Yeah.
We was having a. I'm not going to give you all the details just in case, but we was having some get together with people in the world, like somebody's family in the world. Mm-hmm. And two brothers that's in the school, one of them is gone now.
Yeah.
But Captain Shapar he got into it with Captain Shapar, the brother.
Okay.
And I don't even know the exact, I don't remember, because I wasn't there when it happened. Mm-hmm. But it was some altercation between them two, where they got in some bad argument.
Okay.
And I'm assuming it got broke up or whatever. And it was like a whole thing, and it was enough to my memory. It was like enough commotion and whatnot outside, and I knew the brother ended up leaving the school. He like dipped and like just walked 2 miles away and was gone. And I think while the initial thing was happening, I probably called Jeremiah Hyman. Mm-hmm. I called him and told him that something was going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
wasn't in there crazy. Right. Even the thing that in hindsight, like I got enough experience now. In hindsight, the situation itself wasn't even that big of a deal.
It's probably something, but it's probably like it probably just looked very unbrotherly to you.
Yes. Yeah. Not even unbrotherly. It was just I just knew it's going down right now.
Got you.
And maybe somebody else need to know about it.
I got you.
That type of
shit. Okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't even that big of a deal.
So like, okay, let's get back to this. So you're traveling with the Akim, you know what I mean? And then you're building some, camaraderie with the Akim.
Right.
You're seeing how the work goes. You're seeing what brothers put in and all that. And it soon becomes just regular to you after a while.
It was all, like I said, it was always regular to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that helped me too is that the work load was always cool to me. I didn't realize that at the time, but in hindsight, it was just cool. It was just
the work of the Lord, right? Yeah. That's the funny thing about what we do too. Not to go in, but it's like we enjoy doing this. Part of it is because we want to push the kid of kingdom, but we actually like being around each other.
Right? Yeah, we definitely like being around.
You know what I'm saying? People hate that.
The actual work isn't necessarily fun. Like sometimes going to camp, doing classes, it's very fulfilling.
Yeah, it's fulfilling.
But it's not the most entertaining or fun thing to do.
Nah.
But definitely being around the brothers in itself, regardless of what y'all doing.
Yeah.
Is great.
It's like it's like we know we have to do this so we could do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we have to do this because that's our job.
We definitely prefer one another.
Okay.
It's great to be around somebody. It's great to be around people that you trust.
Right.
That's what it is. It's great to be able to hang around somebody, go out, travel, go drink.
Yeah.
Go do this, go this, do that. Go watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And know everybody here, I trust them.
Right.
Ain't nobody gonna steal from me.
Okay.
If ain't gonna be arguments, if it is, it's very rare. We ain't definitely gonna physically fight nobody.
Right.
It's gonna be cool 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
And that's just a beautiful thing.
Okay, so you become a trooper.
Right.
You're first of all, a lot of people get when they become a trooper, they receive a Hebrew name. You already had your Hebrew name.
Yeah, I never did.
Yeah, so you already had your Hebrew name.
I became a trooper.
And you seen brothers get raised up to troopers before, right?
More than likely.
Like when you was young.
Yeah.
So when you got your name, it's like Arya, you're Arya.
Yeah,
how'd that work out?
Exactly what they say. You're a trooper now, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't bring up no name.
God. Yeah. So you become a trooper. Now you can go to camp. You're at camp, and you're doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? And then you become an officer.
Right.
And you become a priest and officer and a worker of the Lord. And how old are you when you become an officer? I think you're 16 or something?
When I came an officer, I was 15, for sure.
15 years old?
Yeah, I was in 9th grade. Yeah.
15 years old, okay. Yeah. And now where's the school at this point?
The school is around that time. This is 2014. The school is, you can see like a lot of early potential where it's at now.
Okay.
So I think, when you come to?
2013.
Yeah, so around that time, that's when we had a lot of out-of-town brothers.
Yeah. 2013 was my first Passover.
Yeah.
So I came in 2011 or 2012.
Yeah, the term was out-of-town brothers.
Yeah,
so
out-of-town
the main schools was, like I said, it was, by this time it was Philly, D.C., and maybe brothers from New York was starting to come in. So Captain Zaryak, Kadazar, Captain Shemawala, those three for sure. Maybe a few other brothers I might be missing.
Yep.
That might be not here around.
Zakar.
Captain Zakar. He was in my Hebrew Academy class. So around that time, it was those three cities. Mm-hmm. But we had out-of-town brothers, which meant anybody not from there. So
it's like,
California, Atlanta, Syracuse.
West Virginia at the time.
West Virginia. Yeah, I think those were the few zones. And that's when the school had started to get some potential.
I think, was we in Florida yet? I think
we might have been in Florida, yeah. We were because Captain Kadazar came in the truth.
Or we had Shawariyala.
Yeah. Captain Kadazar came in the truth because of him.
Yeah.
He was already in Florida. I forgot.
And then Marquardt was Chicago, but he was in Philly.
Captain Marquardt, I don't know how I forget him.
But he was in Philly though.
Yeah, he was also in my Hebrew class. He came to Philly, but he was an out of town brother too. He was in Chicago.
Yeah.
But lived in Philly for like 2 or 3 years.
Right, that's right.
Might be 3 years. Really, like 3 years. Mm-hmm. And, he did all, just was doing the work with us in Philly.
Okay, and then so you say so that happens. The school's getting bigger, and you're in school. You're in high school. You're still young. Mm-hmm. You're doing all these things. You know what I mean? You're in high school. You go back to high school your junior year, senior year. Mm-hmm. You know, that what's that dynamic like? You're in the truth. I'm pretty sure you got way more confidence in yourself as a man, and you're going into a young man, I should say. Yeah. So you have more confidence in yourself, but you're also around this, you're around that. How are you working through those things? Like, how are you dealing with that?
I mean, it was still cool when I went back to regular high school. As far as doing the work of the Lord, it was cool. I still was able to, you know, if I needed to take a couple of days from school, I would. You know, high school is not a big of a deal. Around that time, we started doing a lot more traveling. That's around the time I first came out here for the first time.
Yeah, that was like 2016.
Yeah. So it was as far as doing the work of the Lord, it was Tawab. I think in Philly at that time we was doing camp on Friday and Saturday, so I couldn't make I couldn't make it on Friday, but I could go on Saturday. If we had to go to town or something like that, I could do it on weekends.
Right.
So I think I was playing sports too, so maybe every now and again I couldn't do something on Saturday. But it was still enough. It was still, you know, I could still do, you know, come to class, do the guard, other things. But I definitely was able to work around it as I got, you know, high up in school and whatnot.
Right. So you, and another part too, like, so you meet a lot of these brothers, right? A lot of these brothers that come into the school and all that. And I would assume that you're one of those brothers that you start being one of the brothers that might hear someone's story. You're like, oh, I don't want that from my life. You learned. you feel like hearing a lot of brothers like. Story, you like, yeah, I don't want to be like that.
A lot of people mention to me like, when they meet me, they're like, damn, I heard you was in the truth your whole life.
Yeah.
And just as they are interested just as interested as somebody may be about how my life has been being in a school my whole life.
Right. I'm
interested about why you decided to come into school from the world.
Yeah.
So I've always asked brothers when I do it less and less now because there's so many brothers in the school. But when brothers started coming to the school, I definitely would always damn near ask everybody I meet.
Yeah.
How did you come to the truth?
Like, I remember you asked me. I was like, why you ask me so many questions?
Especially around that time, I asked everybody that.
Yeah.
I was really trying to get an understanding of, like, I know this. You should be doing this.
Yeah.
But what made you?
Yeah.
What changed? What was the motivation?
Okay.
What happened to make you want to make? Because it's a big life change.
Right.
It's a big life change to never do holidays again.
Yeah.
Never eat pork. Now you got a whole new set of things you got to worship and celebrate. Now you got a whole new way of life. So I was always wondering why brothers do it.
Yeah, one of the things too though, like I know about you personally.
Oh my God.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna get to your point. But definitely, when I was asking brothers, how did you come in the truth? They would give me good insights about what's life like in the world.
Yeah.
Then I would really begin to put together. Them coming into the school is helping them overcome and avoid a lot of things they suffered through because they weren't in the school, because they didn't know the truth. Right. So and I definitely put that together just out of curiosity, just trying to find out why brothers come in. I started to learn why the truth is so important. Yeah. I started to realize the things you go through when you're not, in the school, in the truth.
Another thing too, what I noticed from you, like I know that you were born in the truth and you was in the truth your whole life, right. But that you don't act like that. You're not arrogant. You don't think you're saved because of that. Yeah. That's another thing people might, I don't think they think that, but yeah, they might
I assume some
it.
Niggas thinking that.
Yeah, they do.
Nobody ever said that to me.
I would think that
Nobody
too.
ever said, you think you better than me.
Right.
No, niggas don't say that to me.
Okay.
I assume somebody's out there thinking.
Yeah, for sure. I think they would think that just on some, right. You've been here forever. Right. You don't know what it's like.
Niggas have told me that before.
Yeah?
Niggas have told me that before.
And what do you
get where they coming from, but...
What do you think? Because I would think that they're saying you don't know what a battle is, like to battle demons or whatever like that.
I guess that's what they... I don't know. I think they... I guess that's what they say. I never gave them much... It's bullshit, so I never gave them much insight.
Because like,
I guess but that's not true.
Yeah, I mean, you battle things.
You're right, yeah.
You got to fight whatever demon.
Right.
I know I've been around a couple of times like, this brother's kind of violent. He could be a little violent, You got a little side to you. I'm like,
he might hurt somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to.
Kind of menacing.
Yeah, like I'm not like, I'm not, okay. I'm a human being.
Yeah.
So I know I know the basic feeling of, I should do this thing. Yeah. But I want to do this thing. Right. I get that.
Yeah.
That doesn't change if you're in the truth or not. I don't care if you have never heard about the Israelites. You understand that.
Right.
And I get that. So if you can understand that, I can understand anybody that coming to the truth in the world.
Right. For sure. So like, this is a question I wanted to pose this earlier. People ask this all the time, but I want to ask it. I'm not trying to be funny, but this is really what it is. Jeremiah Hyman is your father, right?
Right.
So like, how is it? No, but seriously, like, Jeremiah Hyman is an amazing brother for sure. Right. You know what I mean? And then like, now I'm gonna ask this, but I'm gonna also say something. That's your father. I know y'all. That's your father, but that's also the general. Right. How do y'all dynamic work?
We basically have we never really had a conversation about this, but we got an understanding that we have a capacity as somebody who's an officer or a captain in the school and a general, and a capacity of a father and a son, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So there's certain things that we both know has nothing really to do with the work of the Lord.
Yeah.
And in that situation, that's just my father, my dad. There's other situations that are purely the work of the Lord, and in that thing, he's General Hyman, and he's a general or whatever.
Okay.
And we're just able to, I'm not really, I think both of us are not, we're not that emotional to where we can't separate the two things.
Yeah.
We're able to compartmentalize the two things.
Right.
So it's never really no, conflict. It's not a conflict with those two things. And of course, I can come to him for advice like everybody else does.
Yeah.
I never really asked him, but maybe more than likely, maybe some of the things he says to me, he wouldn't say to somebody else because he knows me personally on that level.
Yeah.
But it's still the same. I'm still able to come to him like a son would about advice, and still able to have a regular relationship.
Right. Right.
Whether it's the father and something or the work of the Lord.
Do you feel like you get treated different because of that?
What you mean?
Yeah, you feel like other people treat you different, like because you're Jeremiah Hyman's son.
I assume they treat me differently.
Yeah.
I don't want them to treat me differently, but
but they do though.
I'm pretty sure they are.
In some sense.
Yeah. Like, when I say I'm assuming they treat me differently because I don't know how they treat other people.
Right.
I don't know exactly every conversation you had with somebody, so I don't know exactly how every individual treats people. But I assume by the things they say that they're probably a little more high-minded about it than I am. Meaning they think I'm more important than I think I am.
That part. Does that bother you?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's foolish.
Right. Okay.
It's foolish to think just because I was raised in the truth, I don't have the same capacity for failure, or that. Like, okay, for example, everybody in the Bible are Israelites who knew they were Israelites, who may have known about Christ, may have known that we got a covenant through our forefathers that we have to obey the Most High. Yeah. They knew all that, and they still were evil. They still felt weak. They still weren't special. Right. I understand in America, now we live in a different type of time and different captivity and have a real lack of knowledge about our identity. But that doesn't mean I'm different or special. I had a different start. Yeah. But I'm not really different or special compared to anybody else in the school, at least. Okay.
Well, like I noticed, I know about you and been knowing about you for some years now, for sure. Like, you carve your own lane, though. You know what I mean? You like traveled all over the goddamn place for sure. I was like, what? You Canada? You was in what's that place? Trinidad. Right. Right. You're the Trinidad. I remember Trinidad, Canada, of course, all over the country, over around here too. So I'm like, but you working though. You're trying to see. And like, what gives you the hunger to do that? I like doing that too. But what's your hunger behind it though? I just
like to travel. I think I like to travel. And I think I definitely, because at a time the school was so small, I think I just appreciate being able to go to Arizona and somebody in the school is there. Yeah. Because there was a time where that felt impossible. There was a time where that felt like there would never be a nigga in Arizona there. What the fuck is Arizona even at? The first thing. And then there'd never be a nigga over there that is in the school. Yeah. Because I should have mentioned this earlier, but it was a time when the school was so small, I was younger, and I didn't realize the point of all the things that the generals were doing was to get people to join. Like, I thought this was just something my family did damn near. Like, my immediate family. Yeah. A few brothers, my dad.
Oh, you thought it was some family?
Damn, I didn't really get the point of this is to get more people.
That's hilarious.
It was so small that I think early on, when I was real young, when I was, and first grade and around that time, this was just something my immediate family do. Commander Gianna, and Jeremiah, you know.
And it's funny because like I'll be remiss if I didn't mention your mother. Your mother was the first person I ever saluted. I mean, the first sister I ever saluted. And, I mean, she threw me off. I was a trooper.
Yeah.
I was a trooper, and we were sent to the. I didn't even know it was your crib, but it was your crib to go get some stuff for the Passover. We're getting stuff, and the sister goes and salutes. She goes, "Yah Shemar, I go, Yah Shemar, I'm like, I don't know.
I haven't practiced.
I never did this before. but your mother though, like she, you know, I know the story of her coming to the truth. Jeremiah brings it up. He's like, she came to class first.
Right.
You know, he brings that up, and that's another thing. You had support from your mother and your father in the work of the Lord, right?
Right.
So that was just like a household full of like, okay, this is what we do.
Yeah, there's never been no conflict about the truth or the school.
Yeah.
That was just we all knew that we all knew and know that this is what we do, and we've all decided what the standard is.
That's good because sometimes you just might just have your father and your mother just halfway.
Yeah, and I can understand. You know, I haven't been through it. I would imagine it's a challenge because you love your mother just like you love your father. So,
exactly.
So if you got both of them in the house and they believe two opposing things, it could be 50-50 as far as what you decide to do.
Okay. So then, I mean, I'll skip through a little bit. So you're a priest in the school and all these things. You graduate high school. And a lot of people don't know, like, you're studying to be a lawyer right now. You're in school to be a lawyer. Right? Like, break that down. Like, what was the ambition behind that? I never even met someone who went to law school. That's crazy.
That started back around the time I became a trooper, I believe. Around 2014, 13. Two things happened within like 2 or 3 years of each other.
Yeah.
One thing that happened first was the brother, I believe Captain Tywar still holds contact with him now. It's a brother that got locked up. He got locked up about, I ain't gonna get into details of it, but the brother got locked up. He was in the school. He got locked up about something that allegedly happened when he was in the world. Yeah. Right? And this thing, I don't believe he did. But he ended up going to prison for it. He's in prison right now. That happened. And in between while that was happening, the school also got sued by Liberty Place. Liberty Place is a mall in Philly on 16th and Chestnut in Philly. And just for perspective, the skyline of Philly, some people might know it, the skyline. Okay. It's two big buildings, just the two larger buildings in the skyline. The company that owns Liberty Place is at the bottom of the skyline, if that makes sense. Yeah. So there's two giant buildings. I forget the name of the company, but I know the company stems back from the Quakers. The Quakers is like, the people that founded William Penn and all that was a Quaker. Wow. Yeah. So the Quakers they're the religious sect that founded Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. Oh wow! And that money is still here today, I guess. And they own the skyline of the city of Philadelphia. But we were speaking in front of Liberty Place, and we got sued. The school got sued for doing that. I guess I think they were trying to get us to stop speaking there, as well as pay them some money. Like I forget how much they would have won if they won. Yeah. But the brother, unfortunately got locked up. He went to jail. He's in prison right now. The school got sued. The school won that case. That was a civil case. He won that case. But around this time, Commander Yohana, the generals, General Muhammad, General Haas, they dealing with lawyers a lot. Captain Tywar dealing with lawyers and hiring lawyers. The same lawyer did both of those cases. And I remember General Muhammad. He was on the phone with somebody, probably Commander Yohana, somebody, and I was sitting at the table, and he said it would be great if somebody in the school was a lawyer, or if somebody became a lawyer. And it was kind of one of those things where, like, he know I'm listening. It was like, it would sure be great. It would sure be great. And around that time, I'm like a ninth grade probably. Yeah. But before then, besides the working lawyer, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Of course. I never really thought about slavery that much. When I was real little, I wanted to be a veterinarian for some reason. Oh, wow. Okay. That wore off. So at that point, I didn't... You have a love for animals? Not now. In hindsight, I don't know why that was even a thing. But,
okay, so he said that, and that kind of inspired you.
Yeah, it sparked something. It sparked. That's the thing. I didn't even wasn't really searching for a thing to do outside. I knew I had to go to school and graduate and all that, but I knew I probably would have to go to college.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what I would want to do at that point. But when he said that, he probably mentioned it other times.
Yeah, I mean, I know Jeremiah mentioned that. I believe he went to school and tried to. He was like a licensed therapist, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think he might have took on like psychology.
There you go, psychology. Yeah. There you go, Carol. So like, I mean, yeah, and your mother, she's like a super, registered nurse, right? So, and she's doing that for. She's been doing that for.
Right, she been doing that probably. I'm 26, so it's probably 15. I'm trying to think she reached a milestone of that slavery too, like 15 years or something like that. Right. Something like that.
So like the lawyer thing, like how I asked you the other day, but you gotta explain it on camera. I'm sure it's difficult.
It's very hard. I'll say that I don't like school.
Yeah.
I do not. I never since third grade. Since they introduced that algebra.
Yeah. That's not third grade, but I understand. Remember that algebra came around?
When that algebra, I remember at the end of the day, like I can't do this. I can't do this. So school always been like a means to an end. It was like I just know I gotta do it.
Yeah.
But law school is definitely it's the hardest thing I've done academically for sure. The concepts themselves aren't that hard. They aren't always that complex. It depends. But the issue with it is just the vast amount of information you got to know.
Yeah.
To pass a class.
But I love the fact that your parents support you. They support you and all that, because a lot of people, like especially in black communities, oh my goodness, bro. I don't even think they could even. It's not. I would just say. People, I'm sure, do it, but it's not normal for parents to support their child, like while they want to go get their dreams. So many other cultures do this.
Right.
Where you go to school, and go to law school because they want to set you up for the rest of your life. And most people in our culture, man, it's not. We don't do that.
Yeah, I think when a lot of black people that's poor. Yeah. And I think when you poor, it's kind of hard to find the focus to instill good values in your children. I think that's like a barrier. If you worry about how you gonna eat tomorrow, or how you gonna feed the kids,
right?
You kind of lose the. You gotta make sure you go to school. Make sure you get good grades. Make sure you do this, and so you can be better and not live through poverty. Of course, a lot of black people do successful things, but I think a lot of times so many of us are dealing with so many other problems. It's hard to instill that work ethic and that inspiration in your children.
Okay, for sure. Okay, all right. Came out here and you watched the Super Bowl. That's a good thing. Super Bowl was today. We're filming this today. We're happy. It worked out. You know what I mean? But before I let you go, though, I want to hear two things. Right? What was one of the biggest challenges you ever had in your time in the truth? And also, probably, what do you believe to be your biggest accomplishment so far in your life?
I don't know. You said biggest struggle?
Yeah, the biggest challenge, struggle. Whether
I don't really felt like I struggled that much.
Okay, no struggles.
No, it's just I don't know. I think at this point, I can see that certain things are going to be hard.
Okay.
So I just don't care when they are.
Yeah.
It's just so. I don't know. And a lot of things I enjoy doing, and because I enjoy it, it's just, even if it's a little hard, I'd rather be there still.
Right, because in your captainship, I see that you help other brothers start their camp or be in the work and all these things. You travel and all this stuff. You do a lot of stuff, but I know that you was working with Jersey. Right, but you wasn't
stuff in Jersey, though.
Yeah, but it's a brother over Jersey, right?
Yeah, my son. Right now, my son yacht.
Right, and you was going
Jersey
because you're in Philly, and the camp leader in Philly is Captain Tower.
Captain Tower. Right.
So you're in Philly, so you go from Jersey, you go to Philly, you go to Delaware.
Right.
Those are like your three main.
Yeah.
The three main ones, right? Yeah. Then you was going out of town and stuff like that. So that was excellent. So go ahead.
No, I was just thinking about to answer the question about the struggle part at least.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm damn near saying it just to give recognition for the brothers that did it with me. But one of the biggest struggles was going to camp regularly on 15th and JFK in Philadelphia. It's not so much like this now. I think it kind of cleaned up after the pandemic.
Okay.
But on that corner, we was speaking there for a while. But in that corner, it was like it's a lot of niggas like selling Lucy's and just like
a rough little spot.
Kind of rough, but it's downtown, so it's not that rough.
Okay.
But like, you know, cats selling Lucy's.
They just didn't listen.
They didn't listen, and I think they were. In hindsight, these brothers were intimidated by our presence. I didn't realize that at the time.
Okay.
I thought maybe they were just so evil that they just hated us so much and just hated everything we were saying. But in hindsight, they were intimidated by our presence.
Right.
On top of being offended by the things we said.
Okay.
Islam was a big thing in Philly.
Right.
You say something against Islam, they hate that. That's where it starts.
Oh.
And then before you know it, a year passed, and I've been arguing with this nigga for 3 years.
Yeah.
Anytime you see me about anything, I say but it starts with Islam.
Okay.
And so his brothers it's just brothers that are poor and jammed up.
Right.
But it's hard going to a camp spot when you know when you get there, people that hate you are gonna be there.
I know
So after some years of that, and for a while, the main brothers that was there, I think right at the time I became a captain, we was going out there and we was doing it on Fridays. We was still having camp on Fridays.
Yeah.
We was having camp on Fridays. It was like a few consistent brothers that was always available. It's on Friday, so a lot of times brothers aren't available on during the week. And it was like me, Officer Zara Y. He's not around anymore, but I say his name, Yanaquan. Who was Astawak was there every now and again.
I love Yanaquan.
Marah.
You can't hate Yanaquan.
Regardless of what he's doing right now.
I understand.
But I said Astawak, Marah was there a lot. I might be missing somebody. If I was Salagi for whoever I'm missing. But it was like a good 5 or 6 brothers. Ibad Hayya in Philly, he was there all the time. It was a good 5 or 6 brothers, but it was always like a skeleton crew. It was always like, for a while, it was like always like, you know, just 5 or 6 brothers. Yeah. And it's like just going through the, maybe it was because I was taking the camp out, but it was always just going through the stress of what's going to happen today. Is this the day we going to fight? And in that camp spot, we never actually fought nobody. Right. We had a bunch of close calls. We never actually fought nobody. Yeah. But it was like going through the pressure, this is the day it's going to happen? Yeah. We're going to kill them today. Or is it next week? Or are they going to do anything today? Yeah. Or we're just going to speak and go home. Yeah. And it was just going through the stress of that. Going through the stress of speaking and feeling like it's for naught. Like it's like I'm just talking and nobody here gives a damn. Right. But you also have, you know, the few people that do care that you out here and support you regardless of what's going on. Right. So I would say that stretch we was doing that was definitely a struggle. It was definitely a struggle to show up all the time.
That's one of them where it's like, I don't want to do this.
Yes, like we said earlier. Right. Doing the work of the Lord is not always fun, but it's very fulfilling. Exactly. And even though that was a hard time doing that particular, operation, that particular camp, it was fulfilling to know that we stuck it out. Right. That with those few brothers, we was able to, for some years, with a few brothers, hold that spot down, while we needed to.
Man, I forget. I wanted to bring this up too. The skits, right? Right. The skit y'all do in Delaware with the brother. What's the brother's name?
Tazai.
No, I know Tazai. Azai Ward. Yeah. But the other brother. I know Tazai one has his ideas. That brother has his ideas. You have your ideas. Y'all be working together. Man, y'all skits be hilarious.
Right. Most of the ideas really come from Tazai one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. The seed of the idea comes from him, and then we just brainstorm and build off of that.
Okay, God. Like, how is that working with doing those things? That's the fun part of things too.
Yeah, that's fun. It's technically work.
It's content.
Yeah, it's definitely content. Yeah. It's definitely a fishing tool. Right. Yeah, but it is fun. It's a a fun level of work. That was definitely something. I think now, if not, me and Captain Like a War. I think we did the first skits.
Y'all did do the first skits.
That was my idea.
What was it called? The Angry Black Man.
Yeah, but he's still doing now. But with Angry Black Man Media.
Yeah, but back when he first started,
we did a podcast, and every now and again we did a couple of skits.
Right.
And I think at the time, in hindsight, this was kind of like just being like a little insecure.
Yeah.
At the time, I think I kind of lost the motivation because I felt like I was going to be like the funny nigga. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't really like that idea, so I stopped.
Wait, you didn't want to be the funny nigga?
No. I still don't want to be a funny nigga. But now I get the middle. I get that you can be funny and still be respected as a man.
But I don't
think I fully understood that at the time.
Just to add into what you said, that's kind of why I didn't want to do the skits at first.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want to be the funny person.
Right.
But I was like, no, you can be funny and you can be serious.
Yeah.
You can be both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of comedians that if I seen him, I wouldn't think, oh, I can disrespect this guy.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, like, he's still funny.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why I started doing with Captain Soccer War. But I forget the first one we did now. Whatever, the first good big one was the Friday one.
That was one. That was the one.
Desire one had, came up with the ideas. And I think really it was born out of what's another way we can communicate our messages to somebody.
That part.
It came out of, we go to camp, a lot of things we do, we just tell you the truth. We just say, stop eating the pork.
Yeah.
Don't vote.
Mm-hmm.
Love the black man.
Yeah.
We just say the message straight up. So we just trying to find a way to make it smoother to another type of person that is hard. That may be a little, the way we get the truth may be harder for somebody to receive, especially if they're weak.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to find a way to do it differently, another way to fish, another way to attract people to the school.
I would definitely say, I think seeing y'all skits and seeing DeBar Moff had an excellent skit one time.
He can act.
Yes.
Him and the other, I forget his brother's name.
The Puerto Rican brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can act.
They did a skit one time. I said, "Whoa!" When I seen that, I said, "Nah, we doing skits."
Yeah,
I told the brother, I was like, "We gonna do skits."
That's what I said. He's a good act.
And y'all don't got a choice either.
Get your notepad. Write the script.
We doing these skits, right?
Right.
I love those skits, man. I feel like y'all gotta keep punching them out for sure. It's hard to always get brothers to try to get together sometimes to do the work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But when you do it, I know when we do them, it's like it takes time. Yeah, it takes time. You got to get together. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some takes.
The last few ones we did wasn't that fun. Last few ones we did, it was like, by the end of it, I was like, are we done yet? How many times you wanted to say this line? The last few ones, because now they're getting a little more complex. Year. But last few ones, they was like, okay now. So how many takes you need? Yeah, but it definitely takes time and effort to do it, do it good, do it the right way.
For sure. Oh, I'll say one thing before you go. I would definitely want to interview more Philly brothers because Captain Soccer War, man. Captain Soccer War. I feel like I patterned a lot of my stuff from after Captain Soccer War, like how I am, or even how our school was, our California school, because of Captain Soccer War in Philly. In Philly, y'all definitely, especially when I went out there when I was younger, and I would see the brotherhood y'all had in Philly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that carried a long way. I was like, damn, these brothers. I never met brothers like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm like, these brothers is some excellent brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Captain Soccer War, all the brothers out in Philly. I'm like, damn. So when I came back, that's how I was like, that's how I envisioned California to be. When I was by myself. Yeah. So when I met The Wall and I met Quam, you know what I mean, and every other brother that came up under them, it was like, this is how we gotta be. You know what I'm saying? So, and y'all still the same way. The top brothers in Philly, and it goes down. Still rock the same way.
Delaware too, though. Delaware.
Delaware, but Cesaro one was in Philly. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? He took that same mindset, took it to Delaware. You know what I'm saying? And it'd been excellent. But man, I appreciate you for your interview for sure.
No sweat, man. I appreciate you, Cap. I definitely want to get on here.
Hell yeah.
You know the real me. Yeah. Who I really am. The truth.
The truth, baby. You know what I'm saying? All the way from Philly, man. Cap Marial, man.